you looking to start a small business and you'd like to get funding to be able to do so? Well, I'm about to reveal to you over 10 different ways that you can get money to fund your startup business. I'm going to show you startup funding you can get regardless of how bad or good your personal credit may be. I'm going to show you startup funding you can get that doesn't require collateral and startup funding you can get with no cash flow. We're going to talk about 3 ways you can get money to get your startup off the ground using grants from the federal government and other sources as well. And I'm going to show you how to get startup funding even if you've tried to get funding before and have been denied. Even if you think there's no way you can get approved, I'm going to show you how to get approved and secure money to get your startup off the ground and growing. And I'm going to sprinkle in some of my best tips along the way to get you the best money at the best terms. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to get you access to our funding vault of 27 killer ways to get money to grow your business. We got a lot to cover, so let's dive in. You have a lot to think about when getting a small business off the ground, and getting the money you need shouldn't be one of the things that really occupies a lot of your time. So one of the easiest ways to get money for a startup I found is called Credit Line Hybrid. This is my favorite startup funding program because you can get up to $150,000 in real credit lines to be able to grow your business. Now you can get these at 0% rates for 6 to 18 months, so it gives you the time you need with really low payments to get your business producing income, revenue, profit as well. And you also get these accounts that report to the business credit reporting agencies. So you get about 5 to 8 credit lines. They report to the business credit reporting agency so you could build your business credit, which helps you become even more fundable while getting up to $150,000 in real working credit lines. Now it's unsecured, so you don't need any collateral. You don't need to have any cash flow. You could be in a high risk industry. You could just be getting your business off the ground today and still qualify for Credit Line Hybrid. All you do need is good personal credit or a guarantor that has that. So maybe you have a 680 FICO score or higher with a good established personal credit profile, or maybe someone around you does. You can rely on somebody else around you's credit profile as a guarantor or yours to qualify, but all you need is good solid personal credit of you or a guarantor. And if you have that one thing, then you can qualify for this program, which is perfect to get your startup the money it needs. Don't have good credit or a guarantor that does? Well, then you want to look at some kind of asset that you could pledge as collateral to be able to get financing instead. And again, the assets can be yours or they can be somebody else's. So here's why I say they could be somebody else's. Look, 75% of business owners get money to start their business from family and friends. But if I go to my dad and ask my dad to give me $50,000 to get my business off the ground, well, then he's got to liquidate stocks to give me that 50 grand. But if I could have him keep his stocks in place, store an interest, and I get a low interest rate credit line leveraging those stocks, well, then it's easier for him to get access to the money he needs for me, and it's easier for me to be able to access what I need without relying on him to give me cash. Same thing if I use his personal credit to qualify for Credit Line Hybrid. So what assets do you or somebody else around you have that could serve up as collateral? So for example, if you have a 401k, IRA, stocks, or bonds, there's 4 different kind of funding options right there where you could borrow as much as 100% of the value of 401k or IRA, or 90% of the value of stocks and bonds. Get a 5% or less credit line regardless of personal credit quality and with no cash flow. So it really works perfect to get a business off the ground. Now you could get the money you need to buy inventory or equipment even as a new business, or you could borrow against inventory or equipment you or somebody else has. You could accept payments from your customers on terms, and you could leverage those account receivables as collateral to get money. You could use commercial vehicles, residential homes, commercial buildings as well. The bottom line is if you have an asset that could serve as collateral, there's a good chance you can get a 1 to 5% interest rate leveraging that asset to be able to get the money you need to get your startup off the ground, even if you have credit issues, even if you have no cash flow. Another way you can get money for your small business startup is to actually get free money from the government. Now, don't get me wrong, grants are available from a lot of different sources, but the majority of grants come from local, state, or federal government, and there's 2 really easy places you can go to access grant money. The first is called GrantWatch. Now, GrantWatch has all kinds of local, community, and state grants, easier to qualify for than federal grants because there's fewer people applying for them. But if you want federal grants, you can also go to grants.gov, and that gives you a litany of different options from the government. Most grants come from the government. What's nice about grants is it's free money that doesn't have to be paid back. So you can get $5 grand, $10 grand, even $100,000 in grant money to fund your startup that doesn't have to be paid back. A great way to get the money you need to get your business off the ground. And yet another awesome way to get your small business startup off the ground is by using business credit. Look, business credit can be obtained from the minute you actually have an entity and EIN number set up. And once you build a business credit profile and score, you can kind of use that to fund your business, to let your business fund itself, I should say, so it doesn't rely on you personally. You can get all kinds of really high limit business credit cards without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check, with no cash flow verification, no collateral. I mean, this is funding anybody can get, even if you have bad credit, even if you're just getting your business off the ground, even if you have no cash flow, no collateral, you can still build business credit. And let's be honest, most of what you need to fund a new startup business, you're using from retailers anyways, places like Amazon and Walmart or Staples, Office Depot, Lowe's, Home Depot, even Sam's Club, Costco, even Nordstrom's and Macy's offer business credit without a personal guarantee and credit check. So you can follow our other training where we teach you the exact steps, but business credit opens up like 6 different kinds of funding. You can get starter vendors to start with. You can get fleet credit. You can get retail credit. You can get computer leases. You can get cash credit like Visa, MasterCard. You can also get auto financing. So about 6 different types of funding you can actually get using business credit. And don't forget, once you get your business off the ground and you start generating even some revenue, about 6 months into that process, there's all kinds of money you can get just based on that consistent cash flow. So Square, PayPal, and Stripe offer options where you can get a $5,000 up to $500,000 in funding with a set fee, really no interest charged. And on top of that, get approved regardless of how bad your credit may be, unsecured where you don't need collateral, and get as much as 30% of whatever you're processing through PayPal, Square, and Stripe. Now, I'm telling you this in this training about being able to get a small business startup funding because, again, when you accept payments from your customers through PayPal and Square and Stripe, that gives you other ways to get money about 6 months into growing your business. Plus, there's cash flow financing, there's merchant cash advances, there's merchant credit lines, there's all this other funding that 6 months after you got your business off the ground and generating regular, consistent income, you can be able to get as well. So make sure you use PayPal, Square, or Stripe. Give one of those options to your customers to pay you. Make sure you're running the money through a business bank account and accept customers' payments through Visa and MasterCard. Get a merchant account set up. Those offer many funding options for you about 6 months after you start generating income in your new startup. So there you have it. Well over 10 different ways that you can get a small business startup the money that you need to be able to grow the business. You want more access to funding? Go to creditsuite.com/27 ways. That's creditsuite.com/27 ways. The number 27, the word ways, to grab our funding vault of 27 ways to get money for your business. Make sure you also grab your free consultation. On a consultation call with us, we get your credit reports with Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian, your commercial credit reports for free. They cost you $250 from the bureaus. We get them for you at no cost. We give you tips and tactics to build your business credit, tips to improve your fundability, even a fundability assessment for you to fix the stuff that's getting you denied right now, and a funding qualification. We'll tell you all the loans and credit lines you can get right now. Let me give you a hint. A lot of business owners think there's nothing they can get, and they call us, and there's a lot of funding that they can get, even a lot of credit lines and loans that work for brand new startup businesses. So we go through that with a consultation call as well. You can schedule your consult online at creditsuite.com/consult. That's creditsuite.com/consult, or by giving us a call at 877-600-2487. That's 877-600-2487. Did you get value? Did you learn something from this training that you didn't know before? Then please like the video. Make sure you subscribe on the platform you're watching this video on. That way, you can be notified when we actually release more training on more cool ways to grow your business. So make sure you look out for our future training where we talk about more ways to get the most money at the best terms to grow your business.